this case contemptuous, but I would assume then defamatory. So that is the majority view. The minority view was that because the code of conduct only requires a takedown policy, and in this case, basically took it down a few minutes, 12 minutes after the comments were brought to their attention, then portals like Malaysiakini cannot be faulted for not censoring or moderating. So that's where the decision split. So the majority view now is that any organization that hosts any platform that allows for comments to be responsible. And that is the decision of the majority of 6. Now what that means, I suppose, would apply to addressing this issue of third-party comments and liability. So I think we should all step back and look at the judgments, understand the thinking behind it, and then I think we will be able to better appreciate what the thinking is. But snapshot, that's what's happened. The implication is that even though there's no direct involvement, but if you could have been involved and you could have taken steps to moderate and you didn't, then you're culpable. So that might have a bearing on Facebook, on Twitter. But as I said, we'll have to look at the judgments before we understand. And I think we also must recognize that the court did not find Stephen guilty as the editor, and I think that is something that was a very fair outcome for Stephen. And I think what we also have to understand is the court was setting a policy position for the courts below in order to send a clear signal of how to treat these sorts of things. Now the effect of it, I think that has yet to be understood on free press and so on, but we must remember this is not a case about a journalist commenting or writing an opinion. It is about third parties leaving comments on a portal. So that's an important point of this that we should take into account.
Would you seek a review of today's decision?
Excuse me?
Would you be seeking a review? Review of today's decision?
I can't say anything about that because, as I said, that's up to Stephen and Malaysiakini, and they can only decide that once they see the judgments. All we've heard today is a summary. I think all of you heard it as well. A summary being read out by the two judges who delivered the judgments to the court, and I think we should give respect to that and step back to wait for the judgments to understand what they fully say, so that you can then fully understand. And I would avoid against any knee-jerk reactions to the judgments as summarized. But I would say also that the court was fair in acknowledging that Malaysiakini had cooperated with the court and the police, and it had acknowledged from the outset that, on the face of it, those comments were problematic. They were contemptuous, and therefore the real issue was only that question of intention to publish, and there you can see there was a split. Justice Namli finding that there was no such intention, and the majority finding that there was such an intention for its reasons. Well, I mean, any litigant before the court can always seek a review. The question is whether you can demonstrate reviewable grounds. And I think quite correctly the law is have very limited grounds on which you can seek a review, because the court wants finality, and I think that's correct. So, as I said, I don't think anyone can comment on that until they've seen the judgments. But for now, I think the press has to understand that this is an important decision, because it makes clear how the press or any organizations that host sites that allow for third-party comments, what is expected of them. Before this judgment, we had no guidance. Now we do. And whatever the case may be about the judgment, that is the law of the federal court has clarified by a majority of 6-1, and we have to respect that.
Is there any indication on what is the effect of this judgment on comments left by readers on Facebook pages of media organizations or news articles?
So I think on the face of it, it seems to be that there may be grounds to similarly complain. But as I said, I think it would be best to consider the judgments fully. We did cite one decision of the Indian Supreme Court where a lawyer tweeted and contempt was taken up against the lawyer as well as Twitter. That Supreme Court found the lawyer guilty of contempt and Twitter was exonerated. But the majority recognized that that decision had been made, but for its reasons said that it was distinguishable on the facts. So I'm therefore not in any position to say, based on the summaries, how you would apply the principle to Facebook or Twitter, but on the face of it, I would think there is basis to say that you could similarly take issue with postings or comments left on Facebook or Twitter. But it's a bit premature, so I think let's wait for the judgment. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
We have to get his attention. Try and get Stephen's attention and clear us, please. Stephen? 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 Somebody run after him. I need to settle the space thing. Let me see if we got questions for KiniTV. Okay. KiniTV. Okay, just 1 second. Yeah, we're just freeing up. Just a quick question from Kini, and just for a little bit more of a recap, a quick summary of what happened earlier. About how you feel about it. Let's just get started with that.
Dia ambil mic.
Get the mic from this thing. It's coming up. Our Prem's here. Okay. Yeah. We're just getting the mic from that stand there because it's you live in there.
We'll do it together. Yeah. No, it's not. There are more questions. Oh, okay. Any more? Yeah, the questions.
Yeah, thanks. Okay.
We're recording it.
Okay. Okay, you ready? Yeah. So how do you feel about today's decision as a whole?
Well, I think that, while respecting the court's decision, I think we are also disappointed. We felt that this is a grey area of the law, as what the court also agreed on. We have to digest the decision and do what we can. We'll also be looking at whether there are any areas of law that need to be reformed to again allow online publications to exist and report, and allow a fair amount of public commentary on events of the day. So I think we need to read the judgment and see what can be done in terms of media law reform, in order to enhance and allow for freedom of expression that is articulated in the Constitution.
Okay, and Stephen, how about you? How do you feel about it?
I'm very disappointed. I was shocked by by the fine. As I said earlier, the prosecutor were asking for 200,000, and yet the judges themselves decided to fine us 500,000, and it is a major blow to Malaysiakini, having have to pay that fine. So we'll do our very best to raise the money among our supporters. They have supported us in other cases before, and we hope that they will do the same this time.
So do you have any message for Malaysiakini's audience and also for the Malaysian public?
I think the decision, as what our lawyers have earlier explained, the decision may have have impact on not just the media organization like Malaysiakini, but also on those who are on tech companies, those who have social media accounts and all that, because we are now apparently responsible for comments that's been posted by third parties, not just by us. Sure enough, while we are we are responsible for the content that we publish, but now it looks like we are also responsible for comments that is or content that's been posted or been left behind by our readers, by third parties. So I think it has serious implications for all of us, and so I think it's something that it is a landmark decision, and then something that we will have to grapple with.
Stephen, today's decision was on contemptuous comments, but do you think this opens the door for liability on comments such as defamatory comments or other types of offensive comments? Contempt of court has to be of a higher bar when it comes to proving it, and the fact that they are able to do that, that we've been found of contempt for the comments that's been posted by third parties that we are not responsible for, that we do not, that it's not coming from us. It says a lot, I think it plays really undue burden on all of us. So I think normally with defamation the bar is a bit lower, and I think it is unprecedented that we've been punished for contempt for over the posting of our readers.
Prem, anything would you like to say to Malaysiakini's readers and also to the public?
Yeah, I think the Malaysiakini readers have always been our backbone, and they've supported us for 21 years. And we really appreciate our readers and all their support, and all those who also participate in our comment section, giving their views, enhancing the story, talking about the story. So we really hope our readers will back us up, and those who are commenting will comment responsibly, and Malaysiakini will continue. We've had many setbacks in the past. This is not the end in Malaysiakini by far. We will stand our ground, and we will make sure that we continue to report the news and views that matter and do our job in informing the public. We will not in any way reduce the work that we do and the professionalism that we bring to the job.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
刚刚好。OK， 刚刚好。Oh my god. The SD card just hung on.
Really?
You just look at that. It just hung on. Atong.
Ask him how can I cut my life.